Hello and welcome to Aurei Plays Factorio Seablock. This is episode 323. And yeah, let's see. So we've got a small production issue with our purple science. So let's scale that up a little bit. So the stuff we get from these researchers are, for example, from this guy, we get an assembly robot. Designed in the rigors of space, and we get a SpaceX combinator. Required components to complete the phase of SpaceX you are currently on. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes somewhat sense. Okay, I guess you can automate it. I don't know if we get to see anything of this, but the sort of storyline is that you build a spacecraft in space. So it does unlock stuff, like you have to craft those things and launch them into space, I think, instead of the satellite. I think that's all. Like, I don't think there's other content than that, but we might just, I don't know, we might see. So we're gonna scale you up a little bit. Let's replace you guys. And then we can just copy this a couple times. Yeah, that should be fine, right? Oh yeah, and we're having power issues still. Yeah, that is actually really bad. Like, we're actually having power issues now. Maybe I shouldn't be scaling up. Yeah, so so basically what I think it is, it's meant to be a robot that you can use to construct your spacecraft in space. So yeah, it's funky. It's I think it's a nice touch, especially given, like, in vanilla you would sort of be very, especially if you wanted to do like a proper late game, you would just launch satellites over and over, which just doesn't make very much sense of a lore perspective. Like, the perspective that, hey, you're launching rockets to get space intelligence, and then you're using that knowledge to actually build a spacecraft, sort of, that makes a lot more sense. So in that sense, I really do like this addition. Yeah, this is actually still going as well. We need to scale this up. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we would... Okay, we're low on green circuits, basically. Like, that's limiting this guy. Yeah, and we'll need to do something about the throughput over here as well. Yeah, let's do both of that. So let's just get these guys going, just to make sure that we could have proper throughput if we have the green chips. And then I guess, would we have green? Would we be lacking greens because of the power issues? It could very well be, but it also shows my sort of lack of respect for higher tier belts, that I'm still using like the basic belts. It's kind of awkward. Let's see, we have you guys, and you guys, you might want to pick up from here instead, and you might want to pick up from here instead. I'm gonna put you up there. Yeah. Okay, so let's figure out why the greens are low. Let's see. Why are you low? Missing iron plates. But these guys are also missing something. You're missing carbon. Yeah, okay, iron plates and carbon. Yeah, and carbon we made in some new place, right? I'm pretty sure we set up a carbon farm somewhere, but where? Was it up here somewhere? No, this is something completely different. Was it up here somewhere? Nope. Where did we start making carbon? Maybe just somewhere up here? I think, actually, I think so. It was somewhere just in between this stuff. Ah, there we go. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, we're low on this. A 5k science per minute. That seems steep. So let's just for fun, let's check what I'm at right now for science. So, back. Can we? Let's just see. Okay, so for this, we're amongst others consuming the sacrificial electromagnets. Can we search for that one? Yeah, so we're now consuming 7 science a minute. If we take it over a little, it actually shows over longer periods. So over longer periods, like we're not even like we have peaks, but it's generally like around the 10 science per minute mark, a little bit lower most of the time. So 5k is 500 times this base. So yeah, no way we can make that happen. It's yeah, could be interesting, but it's really steep to get there. Like it's way easier to overbuild your Seablock, like to go for a huge amount of science per minute, not realizing that the time you're gonna take to build all the stuff is just gonna be so much, like it's gonna be so much time. So I guess the lack of carbon makes a lot of sense since we're using our backup power plant, right? So that's the issue there. If we can scale some of this up, then it wouldn't necessarily be a problem. Let's see, how's this looking? This is kind of weird. What's going on here? Are we missing something? We're missing water. Oh, yeah. Okay, that is problematic. Did I build a ton of this without... Yeah, okay, this never worked. Interesting. Yeah. It happens. Do we want to do another one then? Couldn't hurt. I mean, it might be a little bit overkill, but why not? Let's see. We want to kill you guys though. Yeah, so I mean, if we want to do the 200k stuff in a reasonable time, like getting, I don't know, like getting just like even 100 a minute would probably, like if you have 100 a minute production wise, that's gonna mean for the 200k stuff, that's gonna be 20. No, so 10 minutes is 1k, so 2000 minutes is 200k, which is, that's still like 30 hours or so. Like we really would need to scale that extremely well into the late game. I mean, yeah, basically I do think the strategy of parallelizing it and doing like the random all kinds research while you're building the big stuff, I think that makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna go with for now. At least like we do want to scale our beginner stuff basically a little bit more. But once we get there, like we'll be good. Let's see, you guys, you could could use some power here, right? Is all within range, so we're good on that front. And yeah, it's not like we're making too much wooden blocks up here, and if we would be, then we'd figure it out quite soon. We might need to put in some extra soil at some point. We do want to up this at least, like apparently 100 is just not enough, so let's make sure. That's also gonna help if we upgraded the robots, right? If we got better robots, then these limits could be lower, because the robot's supply speed is gonna be higher. Yeah, so let's see. We've got all of this going. This way we should be getting a little bit more wooden blocks, right? Or at least a little bit more of these guys, which we can build into wooden blocks. We could like just put one randomly over here and feed it in if we needed more. Yeah, the charcoal is just we don't have enough, period. Let's see. If we just up this a little bit, let's do one over here. It's fine. If we look at how much is coming in, like it's actually quite a lot already. So let's do it like this, and bring some stuff in for this guy, and then you can just merge up here, right? That seems fine. Yeah, actually, we can just configure you and just put it a little bit further with an offset, and then copy some of you. It's gonna look like we'll be fine. Let's see. Yeah, this looks okay. Is it symmetrical? Oh yeah, it's somewhat symmetrical. Well, if we're gonna end up having some extra arms, that doesn't really matter. Yeah, we might actually run into issues here. Wait, these are using fuel as well, right? So we could convert this into electric furnaces. Could we not? Yeah, I think we could. That might actually make a lot of sense. It's gonna give us a nice extra impetus. This is actually scaled up a lot. If we look at the end here, we are really lacking soil though. So yeah, let's bring in some extra soil down there. Yeah, these are doing okay, so we're gonna do this and then go to the map and bring that in up here. And a little bit like this, right? Do we... Oh no, we just put it directly next to the belt. I don't know what the thingy is for. It's just... I mean, this works out, right? It puts it on the right track, and it's gonna... So we don't need that. Yes, okay, so the thing about my powers, so in general, like still all of this is first going to the power. So it's gonna, or the electric furnaces. I think electric furnaces are more efficient than, yeah, I guess it would, in this case it would make my power situation worse, so, but well. Let's see, how's my landfill doing? If we have enough landfill, sand. Where's the sand? Like, we should have a ton of that, right? Or am I just crazy? Yeah, we should have a lot more, right? Maybe not, I guess. Like, we used all of it, but still. Let's see. We have these guys. They're not... Oh, I forgot... the stuff, the electrodes. Let's craft them some electrodes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's bring those in, and then they can get started. The advantage is that we can see them work, so we will need to put down some extra power, I think. Yeah, we're still, we're not. It's not as terrible as it used to be, but it's like we're still in a tough spot. Yeah, so I keep going back and forth on whether I want to build a nuclear plant or not, and I don't know. It would help, like, it would help with the landfill situation. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we can just keep mucking along and it will be fine. Let's see, these go in here, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, and 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, that should help a little bit with our landfill situation. These guys are not connected. We can fix that up. There we go. And fluid-wise, are we getting everything we need? Looks like we're okay. Water is a little bit unstable, so we could connect something in to make that better, but for now I'm not too worried. This we do want to connect up. And yeah, what's the problem with you? Let's see. Oh, we're not. Oh man, are we? Is there something disconnected or? No. Okay, so it's just that we're producing so much mineralized water. That's insane. Yeah. I guess we want to do one of these guys again, right? Like, just flow-wise, we need it to be somewhere else because clearly, like, this is not gonna. The throughput of this valve is just not high enough. But yeah, I guess we're gonna do a little bit of this. Yeah, should be fine. We're getting so much of these ores. Like, I think what we should be doing is maybe deprioritize creating these ores from the fluids that we have, just simply because we have so much. And in fact, I should have probably done that a while ago. Let's see. Well, it's not gonna fit the last few, but that's okay since they don't work anyway. Yeah, this is fine. We do want to just put some power, I think, over here, and we want to connect this up like this, and then it should be okay. Yeah. So I actually do think that would be nice because it's gonna what it's gonna mean is it's gonna reduce a lot of our consumption. If we look at our power consumption, where is it going? It's probably more at the assemblers, right? Yeah, it is more at the assemblers and not so much on the electrolyzers, but yeah, it's still, if we look at it, it's still, so our peak production is 700 megawatts. Yeah, it's mainly the roboports, but all the other stuff is just slowly contributing. It really is mostly the roboports. Yeah, so okay, so the valve somewhat is the issue, but I do need this to be, like, I can't just drain all of it because the mineralized water is really important for some of the other stuff. So if I remove the, I'm not even sure if it's the valve per se or if it's just the throughput of the pipe in general. Like, if we look at this piece, it's it's constantly above 80. So this just lets stuff through. So I don't know if it's the valve and this just eats it really, really quickly, or if it's just the fact that due to flow, like at this point, you're always gonna be out, basically. Like the scale at which we're doing stuff is running into the fluid dynamics issues. And that's I think the biggest weak point of this base. Like that's what prevents it from scaling alongside just the manual labor I'm doing. Like we could do some scaling with this as well, but that's just like, this is the one of the main reasons I'm doing all this stuff with the mineralized water, because if this clogs up, everything backlogs, and it's gonna backlog our crystalline fluid production. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit ugly, but it works somewhat. Let's see. So basically what I'm gonna want to do is yes, so I know what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up over here with input priority, and I'm just here I'm taking stuff out for the network. I'm gonna cancel that because we don't care. But here I'm gonna, yeah, that's gonna be fine. Here I'm gonna put stuff in from the network properly. Yeah, I'm gonna give this an input priority on the left, and I'm gonna power this. The only thing we need to, we need these guys to request rushed sapphirite. There we go. Let's make it like a proper amount, because we should have a ton, right? We have a bunch of sapphirite ore, so if we make sure that we backlog this using the ore that we have, and like same for the stereotype stuff, right? We can do that here over here as well. Like then these guys will crush all the ore we have in the network. This stuff will backlog, and we'll just like have a lot of resources left over to divert to the other ores. So yeah, we're gonna do the same thing over here as well. Like this. And yeah, I have a sort of a feeling it's gonna bite me in the ass at some point, but for now, like I see this as a nice hot fix to make stuff work for a bit. And it's just like we're getting so much of those ores. Yeah, we still need to crush them, but that's fine. We need to do that anyway, right? So 600 for you, 600 for you as well, and you want input priority on that left. And my guess is that should backlog a lot of this stuff, which means it's all left for the other ones. Yeah, in fact, it actually already happened up here, right? This is already backlogged. This is gonna backlog, so that's gonna be real nice and give a little bit of breathing room. The disadvantage is actually that no, we're not gonna get less landfill, because we're still gonna crush all that ore up here, and we're gonna get the landfill out of there anyway. Upgrading the belt better fix to what? Let's see. If we look at, let's check out the rocket silo. How's that doing? Is that getting some more love? It's at 17. And we're lacking. This is disabled by control behavior. That shouldn't be the case. We should just take it all out. And let's see. We'll just visit the rocket silo and keep taking out the space science specs. Not enough. So the thing I just did is to consume the massive amounts of sapphirite and stereotype ore that we have. So it's not really something. Oh, and we have so much slag as well. Yep, we're gonna turn that into landfill too. But yeah, so this was just it was mainly something to use the resources that we have. It didn't serve a particular purpose, which is a little bit weird, but it mainly the purpose that it serves is reducing our energy bill, because the stuff that we have on the right, like, is all fed with various machines and electrolyzers. So if we use the ores that we have in the system, then the fluids that we need for it are, like, we don't need to produce them as much. And if we need some of the other ores, we can easily scale up those crystallizers, and we still have enough stuff going there. Yeah, we'll just disconnect this. Like, we just want to get the fluid stuff out, and then we'll be good. If we look at these guys, they're actually... yeah, they're somewhat okay. We're just not really in a good shape for this. Why is that? Let's see. You guys are waiting for the speed circuit boards, and those are waiting for the... blue. Wow, that's not what I expected. We don't have enough of those? Blue. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're actually having some biter issues then. Okay. Yeah, I mean... yeah, exactly. It's a short-term effect. Well, in a sense, it's a short-term effect. Like, we still have a continuous production of this sapphirite and stereotype, so it is gonna have a long-term effect as well. But the long-term effect is just so much smaller. Let's see. If we look at you guys, this is okay. So is the issue that... the issue is that just there's one machine doing this, and that's not enough. Okay, let's upgrade you then. Should be helpful. I mean, we can put some speed modules in if need be. But it's, yeah, it's interesting that that's the issue. Let's see. Let's upgrade you. Let's upgrade you, and I guess we can put some speed modules in. Right, yeah, well, this is plenty, and these are all getting picked up. So that's all good. Yeah, let's cut this episode here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps people like you find it too. Thanks!